gentlemen, and obviously thank you all very much for being here. I'd like to also thank this very distinguished panel. I haven't had a look at the book yet, but I'm sure it's really, really good. Fairly cynical people on the panel, and they've praised it, and I'm sure it's going to be very good. But of course, a lot of kudos and a lot of compliments to Mr. Chandra for putting this book together. I'm pretty certain that wasn't an easy thing to do. But as far as Aamir Khan goes, I mean, I think I found his journey particularly fascinating because I've had the good fortune, which I can say now. I mean, at the time, I didn't know if it was going to be good fortune or not. But I had the good fortune of working with him in his very first, which was called Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak. And I remember when Mr. Nasir Hussain, who was his uncle, called me to his office, which was opposite Behbood Studios at the time. And he began, when I walked into his office, I looked to the right of me and I saw three people sitting there. There was a lady who turned out to be Nusrat, the actor Aamir Khan's mother. And next to him was sitting the director, who was of course Mansoor Khan. And next to them was sitting this very fair, cherubic looking boy with one eyebrow. So anyway, I said, they're all looking at me very sort of, and also a little skeptically, I suppose, say like, so I came and Nasir Saab began to tell me the story. He just got to the first, to the prologue part of it, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, to sort of knock off the groom, the 12-bore gun in the first sequence is something that everybody looks forward to, I'm sure. So I said, yeah, perfect. That's perfectly dynamic for me. I'll take the part. There began the process, and I think at that time when we started shooting, everybody was new. And there was a story about the way we were cast for it, because Nasir Saab actually had planned the Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak with the great and legendary Mr. Shami Kapoor and the great and legendary Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, but Nasir Saab himself was a little unwell, and his doctors advised him not to take on a project of such magnitude with all these major stars. So he offered it to Mansoor, and Mansoor did it, and said the only reason and the only way that I'm going to do this picture is that if, I cannot work with, in the sense that I cannot, with my level that I am, I cannot direct people like Shami Kapoor and Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, so I have to have a completely new cast. And I'm very grateful for that statement, because that's how I got Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak. I don't think I would have been there had it not been for that. So we began, and actually my first impression, by the way, before we go any further, I have to tell you that I take full credit and full claim for suggesting to Aamir very, very long ago, in fact the first film, to knock off that little bit in the middle of his, to separate his eyebrows. So I think he has achieved a lot of fame and fortune through that suggestion. But that's something we'll talk about some other day. What I noticed about him at that stage itself, as Prahlad mentioned, for a person who was just starting out as a leading man, he was so committed to the film, he was so committed to every single shot, how the other actors were working. And I've never called that interference. I've always respected that as a commitment, improving and to being able to suggest and to make something possibly better. And that is one thing that about him, is that the reason why he always likes to have a certain kind of actor working with him is because he feels it's a collaborative effort. And I have to tell you that from that day, I mean from the time that he began in Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, he was always in a huddle with Mansoor. And there was always discussions about how this shot should be done or how something. He used to always come to me, talk to me about the relationship, because I was playing his father with that. I found that in the beginning you get the feeling that here's a little upstart. Well, he comes from as people said, from the family of filmmakers, so perhaps he just thinks it's his sort of birthright to come and talk to people about how things should be done, or suggest perhaps collaboratively how a scene should be done. But you get over that immediately, because he is very genuine about what he's talking. He's extremely keen that a scene work the way it should. And this is from his first legend that he has become now. And I watched that. And actually I'm very fascinated.